Welcome to the SVG-TV News for Wednesday, November 1st. I am Khalil Kato with the details. The Ministry of Tourism is hosting a series of activities for Tourism Month, which kicks off today. The tourism season runs from November to April annually. The country is expected to have another record-breaking tourism season, with some 377 port calls expected for the 2023-2024 cruise season, an increase of 17.5% over the 2022-2023 season, which saw 311 calls. The first cruise ship, Britannia, is expected to dock at Port Kingstown tomorrow morning with over 1,000 passengers. The cruise calls for the season include 116 calls to Port Kingstown, 100 calls to Beckway, 28 calls to Union Island, 67 to Miro, 61 to the Tobago Keys, and 5 calls to Canouan. The Tourism Month of activities will include community tourism outreach, project proposal writing workshops, a Know Your Country tours, a tourism lecture, a colloquium, and the annual Tourism Award ceremony. In an address, Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture, Carlos James, encouraged all Vincentians to work together to help build destination St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Our share of challenges, from a global health pandemic to the explosive eruption of a Lasso volcano. We've worked with stakeholders over the last few months to have a full recovery of our tourism product. This is the Caribbean's most diverse tourism destination. We welcome you to enjoy St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and most importantly, we welcome all stakeholders to work together as we build and transform our tourism product as one of the leading Caribbean destinations. We now boast flights from all of our source markets. We now have one of our record year in cruise tourism. All this is attributed to the hard work of our stakeholders in the industry. We welcome next year, March 27th, Sandals, the official opening date, along with the start of the construction of our Marriott Hotel, the Holiday Inn Express, and a number of other hotels across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This is the transformation for tourism product and what we have worked hard with U.S. stakeholders to build a resilient and sustainable tourism industry.
On radio today, Acting Prime Minister Montgomery Daniel commended the organizers and all those who all those who took part in the various activities to celebrate SVG's 44th anniversary of independence. The Acting Prime Minister highlighted the staging of the Miss SVG pageant won by Arena Foy and the Vinci Expo Plus.
I can say to you that with the outstanding performance that I would have seen by the new Queen Miss Foy, I realized with her high qualities and the way she carried herself, of course, indicating that she's a prominent individual, indicated to me that, of course, that she was well in place for great things. And so I want to wish her well in her reign and to be a great ambassador to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I know as a queen, the demand is very high, and you're called on many occasions to represent St. Vincent. And I just want to wish her well in her reign. I also want to, Johnny P, congratulate the Ministry of Tourism for its excellent display of its Vinci exposition at the tarmac at Anna's Hill. From all reports, as I understand it, the show was fantastic. It was well attended, and overall the participation was great. I understand that there was much Vinci culture that caught many of an eye, and there were many thrilling moments in that exposition. Many of those moments to be remembered. And so I want to thank the Ministry of Tourism for the great work it has done to showcase St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and to once again raise the levels of our expo and what we had to offer here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Minister Daniel also commended the RSVG police force for what he deemed as another excellent performance at the military parade at the Victoria Park on Independence Day.
Of course, we all know that the new acting commissioner, Henry Williams, this was his first parade under his command. And indeed, it was marvelous. Not to take away from the other parades under the previous commissioner, but of course, as you know, the heat that has been moving across St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and at one time, you know, it was even identified that we should shift the parade from the morning to the evening. But I think at the end of the day, the decision was to have it on the morning, and so the police they did well. The overall parade was excellent. The Prime Minister delivered an outstanding speech in measured time, of course, and we were all happy for that. And all of this really just summed up, in my mind, another great historic moment at the Victoria Park.
Mention was also made of the Bikers Showcase and the Modungo Festival held at the Joseph Chatier Park in Rabaca on Independence Day. The acting Prime Minister also congratulated the Buildings, Roads and General Services Authority, BRAGSA, for celebrating 14 years of operation. Minister Daniel said he was invited to their celebration function and the workers were jubilant and in high spirits.
You can see that there is that sort of vibes that is well accepted between the ordinary worker and the management. And I'm very happy for that. So that BRAGSA, for 14 years basically, that BRAGSA as the Roads Building and General Service Authority, when they were established 14 years ago, sorry, the staff was just under 2 dozen or so, and they were basically responsible for repair of government buildings, road cleaning, and road patching, that kind of operation. But today, BRAGSA is involved in building houses. They are a major contractor for the building of roads, for the building of schools. They're involved in the yearly school repair program. They operate the Rabaca operations there. And by and large, their mandate has increased tremendously.
With a total staff of 460 workers, including 335 permanent and 125 temporary workers, Minister Daniel said BRAGSA, being a major state company, has to change its course from where it started with a more in-depth management and a revamping of its organizational structure.
And we are doing that at this point in time to ensure that BRAGSA's mandate can be much more or better managed than hitherto. And so we have just, in the case of BRAGSA, taken on 2 more engineers, giving a total of some 8 or so engineers in that institution. And we have just taken on more individuals at a higher level management level. And so we are ensuring that the staffing is increased and updated to meet the new challenges to which BRAGSA is facing at this time. So I just want to really thank the board of directors, the management team, for their outstanding work, and to ensure that we are in a position to meet the challenges ahead.
BRAGSA celebrated its 14th anniversary with a series of activities, including an employee rotation day, customer appreciation day, a Creole competition, whistle stops, and a general meeting on Monday. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is expected to experience rainy conditions over the next 3 days. In its 72-hour outlook, the SVG Meteorological Service says partly cloudy skies are expected with a noticeable increase in cloudiness by late Thursday. According to the forecast, a trough should begin to affect our islands and activity should intensify on Friday as the upper-level environment is expected to provide support to this feature. The SVG Met Service says flash flood watches and/or warnings may be issued in the upcoming days, and residents and motorists in areas prone to flash flooding and landslides or near rivers and streams should be prepared. It has also been noted that gentle to moderate easterly to east-northeasterly winds will cross the islands, becoming east-southeasterly around Friday afternoon. Seas are expected to remain slight to moderate in open waters across the forecast period, with the possibility of Saharan dust haze noticeable from Thursday. Reports coming to hand is that a baby perished in a house fire in the Diamond area this afternoon. The house was reportedly burnt to the ground. The cause of the fire at this time is not yet known. However, SVG-TV will bring you more on this story as further information comes to hand. 2 ambulances were handed over on Tuesday to the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment from the Republic of China and Taiwan under the Public Health Emergency Response System Enhancement Project. At the handing over ceremony, Ambassador of the Republic of China Taiwan, Her Excellency Fiona Hui-Chun Fan, noted that the occasion comes after marking her 100 days in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and that she is happy that her government is supporting SVG with the Public Health Emergency Response System Enhancement Project.
We all know that the world faces many challenges, including COVID pandemic, climate changes, and here the volcano eruptions. Thus, building up a more resilient emergency response systems has become an issue of rising importance for the government. Taiwan, a nation also prone to natural disasters, say we have typhoons and earthquakes, etc. And we have established the response systems well, and we take every effort to share our know-how and experiences with your country. In November 2021, Taiwan International Cooperation and Development Fund, Mackay Memorial Hospital, and the Ministry of Health, Wellness, and the Environment of St. Vincent and the Grenadines initiated the 4-year Public Health Emergency Response System Enhancement Project. With great pride and joy, I was briefed yesterday that this is the pioneer project among Taiwan's international medical cooperation. Only one in Caribbean region and first one in the world. So the project leveraged a holistic and innovative 3-tier strategy that intervenes at the government, institution, and the community levels. It integrates public-private resources to improve the central government's interagency operation and communication to form evidence-based policies. And we're glad to see NEMO is also on board today. And these public-private resources include those of health, police, and fire agencies. In addition, the project uses a training of trainers model to strengthen personnel capacities with emergency medical technician training.
Ambassador Fan also noted that to date, 16 SEED instructors have been trained for pre-hospital emergency care and infection control in Taiwan, and upon returning home here in SVG, they have provided training workshops involving over 120 persons, with more training opportunities for first responders, including members of the RSVG police force. In his address at yesterday's opening ceremony, Minister of Health, Wellness and the Environment, Sinclair Prince, said he expects fruitful outcomes from the Public Health Emergency Response System Enhancement Project.
The aims of the project: A, to build a national emergency response capacity, which includes training and emergency medical technicians, SEED instructors, and these instructors were taken from first responders in health, police, and fire, and we hope to add the Coast Guard next year. B, to build response efforts in health security, and this is the procurement of equipment and ambulances. C, health sensitization and awareness, which we need a lot of, and we will be continuing this in the coming years. The establishment of a comprehensive and integrated emergency response system, which we are dealing with at the moment. Throughout the course of this project, numerous notable milestones have been attained, contributing to the overall improvement of emergency response in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And these achievements include the training of 16 EMT, that's Emergency Medical Technicians, seed instructors, with the capacity to deliver EMT courses and hands-on training in future EMTs. The project collaborated with the Trinity School of Medical Sciences to provide basic life support and advanced cardiac life support training, procured and distributed medical equipment to emergency rooms, and secured training equipment for BLS and ACLS training on both children and adults. Additionally, the collaboration extended to supporting mass casualty management training, partnerships with various organizations, and the provision of personal hygiene products to senior citizens.
Minister Prince noted that a prominent, tangible outcome of the project is the provision of 2 fully equipped ambulances, one allocated to the Stubbs Polyclinic and the other to the Levi Latham Health Center.
These additions to the ambulance fleet are expected to bolster emergency response capabilities. The comprehensive training of medical teams and the functionality of equipment on board promise to enhance health outcomes in the regions served while offering critical support to the Argyle International Airport and surrounding areas. Of course, you know, the Stubbs Polyclinic is close to the Argyle International Airport. And of course, the Levi Latham Health Center is also in that area. The ambulances are fully equipped. That means that they have on board installed and fully functional oxygen cylinders and flow meters, suction machines, fire extinguishers, solar flashlights, defibrillators, first aid kits, vital signs monitors, and mobile ventilators. There is also on each ambulance basic tool kits, which include jacks, wrenches, jumper cables, work lamps, manual air pumps, inner tube repair kits, and windshield repair kits. Training on the use of the equipment has also been provided to the staff at the facilities identified for the vehicles. The project underscores the commitment to strengthening health security and emergency response in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and it highlights the significance of continued collaboration and support from Taiwan. And this shows you that our health system is not confined to the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. It goes throughout the country. It is multifaceted. It is far-reaching. It is decentralized. It is improving. I'd like to mention too that I hope that the people who will be operating these 2 ambulances will take care of them because we have had some elements of abuse in the past, and I wish that we would improve on that. These are very expensive ambulances. They're very important to our emergency response services and our system, and we hope that it will continue to benefit the health service delivery here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the Republic of China and Taiwan established diplomatic ties on August 15, 1981, and have over the years shared cooperation in a number of areas, including health, education, and agriculture. The Vector Control Unit within the Public Health Department of the Ministry of Health is keeping with the theme of the National Parks Awareness Month, Conserving Nature and Sustaining Lives. Senior Environmental Health Officer Ralph Williams said their main focus is environmental management and to decrease the population of mosquitoes and other insects across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Williams was speaking at an exhibition held yesterday outside the Postal Corporation building as part of activities held to commemorate National Parks Day.
Now, years gone by, we used to have some fish that we refer to as million fish. We no longer have a lot of million fish, but that is a natural predator to control the population of mosquito. We also have the snake. We have the Congo snake, and Congo snake rats are one of the main predator of the Congo snake. Is one of the main predator of the rats. So, not that we want to encourage people to keep the snake around, but they are natural predators to keep down the population of some of the vectors that we have in St. Vincent. Encouraging in water bodies of, like, say, copepods, paramecium. Those are aquatic life forms that will help to get rid of mosquito breeding in water habitats and so forth. So that is what we are highlighting. We do a lot of surveillance. We even use a GPS unit to plot and collect our data that we in the field so that we could able plan for intervention in terms of reducing, not eradicating, because they are part of the natural environment, but to reduce them to an acceptable level that they will not influence and embroil an outbreak of vector-borne diseases.
Public Health and Vector Control Laboratory Technician Dayton Anderson said there has always been an issue with mosquitoes. However, efforts are being made by the Vector Control Unit to sensitize the general public on the dangers of having mosquitoes around the household and how to protect themselves against mosquito-borne diseases such as dengue.
It can cause death to you, especially if you get dengue hemorrhagic fever, and that mosquitoes kill more people all over the earth more than any other animal. So even though people look at mosquitoes as not being something to really be bothered about, mosquitoes kill a lot of people. So what we're trying to do here is to sensitize you about the different types of mosquito species you have, because we actually have 13 species, but only 3 of vector control important, which is the Aedes aegypti, the Culex mosquitoes, and the Anopheles. But the Anopheles we have here, as far as we are aware, the Anopheles aggregatus, which does not spread any disease because the proboscis is bent. The proboscis is what the mosquito uses to pierce the skin to get their blood meal, because they need their blood meal to develop their eggs. So this whole symposium, we're using it as a vehicle to enlighten people as much as is possible on the dangers of having mosquitoes around your premises, how you can keep your drum. If you have a drum, it should always be properly screened.
Anderson further highlighted that septic tanks are the largest breeding grounds for mosquitoes, as he explained how persons should ensure that these and drums are properly secured.
You always keep a mesh wire, an old t-shirt or old curtain over the top of the drum. And then when you keep the drum, you should always keep the drum covered. And then if it's a situation where it's water that comes off the roof, you make sure you have a proper drum cover, and then you have the pipe there. So you don't ever have to, as you keep this covered, you don't ever have to open it. And then you have the flow pipe with the water flows out, you just put a mesh wire there. So it leaves no entrance point for the mosquitoes to get in. Take the piece of pipe that goes to the roof with a piece of mesh wire. Some people use socks, but it's always important to keep it covered, because sometimes you go to areas, you check, and you find that you're not finding where the mosquitoes are breeding. It's a defective septic tank. If you have a hole in the 4-inch pipe, or you have a hole to the side of the tank, the mosquitoes go in and they breed millions, because even though the mosquitoes seem very small, they breed very quickly, and as you notice, they go into the stages very fast. Drums, tires, movable containers, because tires is a serious problem around the country. People indiscriminately throw things to the side of the road. You make pass and you notice an old vehicle, rats live in that old vehicle. So derelict vehicles is something now that public health has had to deal with. And there are other places where they're breeding, where they're living, where they're sustaining themselves, because they need any place that water is settling.
Vincentian Brea John is the 2023 UWI Global Campus valedictorian. John, who obtained a Bachelor's of Education degree with first-class honors, will deliver the valedictory address at the UWI Global Campus virtual graduation ceremony on Saturday, November 11th. John, an early childhood practitioner, said she always aspired to become an impactful educator, a journey which began during her childhood when the positive experiences she received from her parents paved the way for her love for educating others. John, who is currently employed by the Ministry of Education as a primary school teacher, believes that teaching is not only a noble profession, but also an honorable lifestyle, noting that teaching has profoundly influenced her interactions with her family, friends, colleagues, students, and everyone she has encountered. Having completed her undergraduate degree with the UWI Global Campus, John plans to pursue a master's in speech and language therapy, a field she noted will greatly benefit the development of early childhood education in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 7 police officers of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force celebrated 25 years of service on Tuesday. The officers are Assistant Superintendent of Police Adrian Francois, Sergeants Garth Deschong, Disraeli Lett, and Sharon John Phillips, Corporals Derek Daniel and Dilbert Peters. These officers, who are the remaining serving members of Batch 16, enlisted on October 31st, 1997. They are attached to various stations, departments, and units of the RSVG Police Force. Sergeant Disraeli Lett expressed thanks to God for his guidance and protection throughout his journey as a member of the RSVG Police Force. He said there have been challenges, however, the men and women of the police force are resilient.
Such a privilege to achieve 25 years of service to the police force. It hasn't just came about so easy. It would have been hard work, dedication, trials, failures. But amidst it all, it comes with strength. I advise any young men, women to take up this job. It's a job for life. It's a job where it calls for dedication, sacrifice. And it's a job that you have to take very serious, putting God first. It's a job that you have to realize that there are times you will have to leave your family and everything behind and press forwards to providing security for the nation. Amidst it all, I would like to give God the thanks for his blessing to allow me to have seen 25 years. Thanks very much.